Hello everyone and welcome to a new Let's Play that will replace Kirakir since Kirakir is now over with. At least one of the routes is. I might come back to it in the future, but as of now it's being shelved. For this game, Le Fruit de la Grisaia, or also known as Blue Apples. Blue Apples, the game. I've never played this game, so I don't really know anything about it. So, well, let's just start. Let's start. Let's stop talking about it. Let's just start the game. From the beginning. Alrighty, well, we're changing this. Hang on. Where is the setting button? Oh, I just found it. Hang on, go. Text. Text display speed. Fast. Okay, go back. Okay. Alright, now we're going to start again. Intense sunlight blazes down on the road as if to declare the arrival of summer. The burning asphalt radiates heat, mixing with the scent of the tide to form a thick, muggy atmosphere. When the weather's clear in the summer like this, you get guys who lose their heads in the heat, so to speak. Sexual assaults, robberies, all the way up to homicides. I don't have time to list the variety of crimes committed by morons with big brains. As a result, at times like these, the police inevitably get very wary about suspicious types. It was about 10 minutes ago that I realized I'd been mistaken for one of those heat-stroke-addled sorts. Voice acting. Alright. Sweat pouring from his forehead as he examines my license. The policeman in front of me takes a glance at the large backpack I'm carrying and continues the background check. Yes, sir. I'm just exploring the world. I told you this 10 minutes ago. I'm moving. This luggage is everything I own. Like I said, I don't have one yet. The answer's not going to change no matter how many times you ask. Where did you come from? Where are you going? What are you planning to do there? Depending on the context, these can be fairly philosophical questions, but as far as police inquiries go, they're pretty run-of-the-mill. From their perspective, anyone wandering around without the clear-cut business is, by default, a criminal of some sort. Let alone someone like me carrying around conspicuous, bulky luggage, and it's as good as guaranteed that they'd stop me. That is their job, I suppose. Since this little scene acts as a crime deterrent through its visibility, it's not an entirely wasted effort. But unfortunately, I don't have all day to play Icon. Drop a glance towards the digital watch I'm wearing around my left wrist. Sorry, but I'm keeping someone waiting. I really can't spare any more time for hanging around with bored cops. No, I would never mock you, sir. A bored police force is proof that the city's at peace. Take it as a compliment. Inexplicably taking offense at my tone, the policeman clicks his tongue in irritation, tosses my license back. No, sir, you may not have a look in my backpack. I refuse. You don't want to know what's in here, man. Dead cops. I don't rely on blades, policy of mine. Look, are you really telling me to unpack all of this on the spot? It'll take an hour at least. 30 minutes just to take it all out, 30 minutes to stuff it back in. You really have nothing to do, do you? I love how I'm getting lectured by a fucking stoplight, of all things. I just told you, I don't have the time. I can't accept voluntary questions. I know you just can't just back down to the situation, but if I say I'll head over there myself later, could we wrap this up for now? As I've explained several times, I'm in the middle of a move. I vacated my old place, so I don't have an address. Oh, you getting snippy with me, sir? He's getting snippy. He's getting snippy. I don't have any parents, sir. They've died in the fire. No siblings or relatives either. They're all dead. That's all bullshit. They're not all dead. We just don't know about them. They probably don't exist.
本当に? やっぱり何か隠してるんじゃないの?
This is going nowhere fast.
警察署まで来てくれれば無駄な問答をしなくて済むんだけどね。
Then at least let me call the person I'm supposed to be meeting. At this rate, they'll be waiting all day.
そりゃ構わないけど。相手は誰?
My dealer.
お友達?
I'm not gonna tell you that.
言えないような相手なのか?
It's your mother. We had an appointment at a hotel tonight. Oh, bam.
は?
Never mind. I was keeping quiet out of the goodness of my heart. I really was. You dragged it out of me. So don't blame me when your parents get divorced and your happy home is shattered. Controllers.
バカにしてるのか?
What? Someone screams. I could. Okay, someone screamed. A desperate cry follows within seconds. Thief! Stop the evildoer. A woman sits collapsed on the street, stretching out her hand. Her high heels lie on the ground, knocked off by her feet by the sudden fall. Just about halfway between us, there's a man in a flashy Hawaiian shirt running in his direction. Although the thief flinches for a moment at the sight of the policeman's uniform, after a quick check for any convenient side streets, he barrels onward. Brandishing the stolen bag menacingly, his hand violently gestures out of my way. The cop is completely flustered. He's quite clearly unaccustomed to this sort of situation. While he's panicking, the distance between us and the thief shrinks with surprising swiftness. The man runs in a straight line towards a breakthrough to freedom. I happen to be standing directly in the middle of his path. As he prepares to strike with the bag, I ascertain the movement of his shoulder and arm for the first signs of motion, and hit his wrist sharply just as he begins to swing. The man's arm instantly stiffens and loses all momentum. His eyes pop wide open in shock. I immediately grab the collar of the Hawaiian shirt he's wearing and firmly draw him towards me. Before the man can offer resistance to my pull, I smoothly reverse and use my body weight to shove against him. When pushed just as they begin to brace themselves against being pulled, anyone except a genuine expert is going to be thrown off balance. I'm not sure. Where'd you buy it? I said, where'd you buy it? You know what? Don't worry. I'll just take it. Take your shirt off. I want it. It'll look good on me. Shock spreads across the man's face as his knees buckle against his will. I try to gain a chokehold using my grip on the neck of his shirt, but I've been called worse things by better-looking men. The man promptly draws his head back and shifts his body to the side, preventing me from landing a hold onto his neck. Although I expected as much from a glance at his build, it seems like he's somewhat experienced in judo. But in this case, he would have been better off trying a decisive tackle. Rotating around the purse snatcher in the opposite direction of his slide, I yank his right arm upward with both hands. In one movement, I've circled to his back. Next, pull back on the opponent's wrist and elbow and pin him to the ground. This is just the basic Aikido, by the way. I'm sorry. I can't hear you over the sound of your bones snapping. Hey now, you've got your priorities all wrong there. Before worrying about me, you should kill the guy who sold you that shirt. Oh man, we are on fire today. Perhaps unconsciously, the man's now empty left hand desperately slaps at the asphalt. While holding the thief pinned, I quickly shoot a look behind me. Don't just stand there. I should be a policeman. The policeman jerks up straight in response to my angry shot, taking a pair of handcuffs from the pouch around his waist. He runs over to restrain the criminal. The purse snatcher seems to have resigned himself to his fate, and doesn't offer any pointless resistance. He accepts his red-handed arrest for theft docilely, then sits quietly on the ground with his head hung as the policeman radios for backup. Apparently they weren't too far off as the siren approaches in no time. Two policemen get out of the arriving cruiser and push the criminal into the back seat. As I'm quietly watching the scene in perfect passivity, the policeman from earlier runs over. I'll pass on the letter of thanks, so how about letting me move on?
宣告の件も含めてできれば改めて書で
Oh my god, this is what I get for helping people. Figured as much. Last time I helped a thief. Shaking my head in exasperation, I silently rebuked myself. Should have just left it alone. Right? Should have left it alone. This is what I get for being nice. This is my luck. As the policeman pushes at my back, I glance at my wristwatch and forget that I'm already 5 minutes late for my meeting. Crap. That person's gonna be mad. Whoa. That looks cool. I like that. Man, you got nothing on me, man. You got nothing. I want my lawyer. I plead the fifth. 30 minutes have passed since I was brought into the interrogation room, familiar as the place where criminals break into flop sweat and TV dramas. I'm sitting on a cheap foldable pipe chair, my arms folded in perfect silence. There's nothing you need to concern yourself over, detective. Instead of responding, I close my eyes, a silent statement indicating that I have absolutely no intention of opening my mouth. The detective clicks his tongue in exasperation at my attitude. I've got a pretty fair idea of what I'll be doing next. The sound of something being struck and an even louder attempted intimidation. This is the point where a timid guy would be jumping in a seat with his eyes wide open, or maybe staring at the floor and quivering. As for me, my eyes are still shut, my arms are still folded quietly. My mind is a total blank. I've been accustomed to adults shouting at me like this since I was a child. I was a bad kid, apparently. Following the threat stage, the next step would be for him to grip my hair and jump me back and forth, but I'm dealing with an official authority group here. I should get off without direct violence this time. Not to say that they won't pull out the old TV cliches and harass me by shining a desk lamp in my eyes or something of the sort. I can roughly translate the detective's sigh. Goddamn kids these days. Got no respect for authority. I gently opened my eyes in order to sneak a look at his disgusted face. You can't see it, but his face was pretty disgusting. The detective sitting in front of me seems to be challenging the Guinness World Record for the most dramatic asymmetry between the left and right sides of a human mouth. Or maybe he's just scowling. When I let out a snort of laughter responsive to the unexpectedly pleasant sight, the detective scratches his head violently and glares at me. It won't gain you anything, but you won't lose anything either, except your time. I turn my gaze to the clock on the wall of the sweat box. An hour has already passed since the scheduled time for our meeting. The detective strikes the desk with excellent comic timing. The best part is the way he knocks his ashtray off the table every time he does this. I don't have a deal, man. You have a deal. I told you, I got nothing to hide, man. But I'm not saying anything. His tone distinctly fed up. He stoops down to pick the plastic tray off the floor. Kazami Yuji, occupation, student. A good person, maybe? Dude, I'm just a kid with a fucking bag, alright? That's all I got. Kazumi Yuji, occupation, student. Terrorist. Be serious, man. Kazumi Yuji, occupation, student. First it's say something, now it's shut up. Talk about hard to please, am I right? Our capricious detective scowls yet again and scratches his head. Flakes of dandruff drift grandly through the air, but gradually as well. Based on his thoroughly wrinkled suit and heavy stubble, I'd say he hasn't been home in days, the poor guy. Take a break, detective. You've been working hard. I don't want to wear your shoes. They're too big for me. Another sigh. It's enough to make me want to heave one myself. Because we both take our work seriously, seems like we're stuck going around in circles.
さっきのひったくり事件の取り調べも進まないし、厄介なの捕まえたよまったく。
Thank you. You're welcome. Just as we roughly complete this exchange of one-sided bitterness and mutual claim, there's a well-timed knock at the door, and the sound of it being unlocked.
はい。あ、お疲れ様です。
A slightly plump elderly detective enters the room. Given the respectful tone of the detective I've been chatting with, he's probably a superior of some sort.
どうかしましたか？はい。
After a quick glance in my direction, the elderly detective whispers something into the younger man's ear. You look cute today. Whoa! Before long, the younger detective turns towards me with a decidedly nonplussed expression.
釈放だとお疲れさん。
Cooperation. I didn't give you cooperation. Why now, all of a sudden?
それはこっちから聞いてくれ。それじゃあな。
Why now, all of a sudden, sir? With those parting words, the young detective leaves the room. The elderly detective watches him go and then faces me with a greasy smile.
いやー、すみませんでしたね、風見さん。こちらに連絡が行っていなかったようで、先ほどようやっとあなたの身元保証人の方と連絡が取れた次第でして。
I see. Okay. The detective stares at me with eyes like a dead fish.
市ヶ谷の関係者なら最初からそう言っていただかないと。
Interesting. I didn't know that. If you'd known it was from Ichigaya from the start, wouldn't you have thrown me in jail, stripped me naked, and spread me down with a hose?
まさかまさかご冗談を。うちは天下の桜だもんですよ。
Okay, whatever, man. Just to let you know, I'm nothing but a student. My work at Ichigaya is only a part-time cleaning job.
掃除ですか。なるほどね。うまいことおっしゃいますな。さすがはインテリさんの集まりだ。
Excuse me? In response to my words, the detective twists his mouth into something vaguely resembling a smile.
いやー、ですからね。そちらさんもそんなご事情ならば、もっと早く言っておいていただければよかったんですが、ご存知かと思いますが、上があれですから、いろいろとややこしくてね。
Sarcasm drifting from every pore of his body, the detective treats me with a transparently insincere courtesy. He's perfectly civil on a superficial level, but the atmosphere in here is growing increasingly unpleasant. The younger detective from before, hard-ass that he was, seems infinitely preferable. Did you inquire to Ichigaya about me?
いいえね、あなたのお名前をデータベースで検索させたんですがね。検索している最中に電話が鳴りまして、受話器を上げてみたら防衛省の特別の機関からのお電話でして、うちの犬がそちらで保護されていないかと聞きましてね。いや、驚きましたよ実際。うちは保健所じゃありませんからね。
Okay, dude. Alright. Since you found my owner and confirmed that my leash is properly attached, I should be able to leave now, right?
どうぞご自由に。ああ、そうそう。あなたが今度転入なさる学園の学園長からもこちらに連絡がありましたよ。
That's so.
なかなかいらっしゃらないからと近隣の署に片っ端から連絡を入れたそうですよ。おかげでうちの所長も会議の途中で電話に引っ張られたようでして、散々闇を言われたと言っておりました。
Poor guy. Where's my backpack?
お預かりした荷物は玄関に出してありますので、そちらで。なんでしたらうちの車でお送りしましょうか。
After wasting my time, you should give me a freaking police escort to where I'm going. You're not getting your funds from public taxes in order to show for bums like me around, are you? I'll walk. After I emerged out of the door by the old man, the young detective appears from the rear, carrying the backpack they'd taken away from me earlier.
とんでもない重さだな、これは。
Dead
一体
cops.
何が入ってるんだ?
I mean, school stuff. Bit of a tough question, that one. I guess you could say my life.
ギャグだとしたら出来は悪いぞ。
I don't have a day job, sir. I'm a student. Occupation. That really wasn't what I was going for.
まあ、そんなことはどうでもいい。
Dropping the backpack next to me, the detective lets out a slight sigh. Thanks for lugging it out here. Pretty heavy, isn't it?
仕事で柔道やってるような人間に言う言葉じゃないな。田舎の警察とはいえ、その辺は仕込まれてる。
True. I guess that's natural for a policeman. Sorry. The detective smiles wryly.
なあ、お前、埋め立て地の学生なんだってな。
Excuse me? Landfill Academy? You might want to mind your tongue there, sir. I'm wearing the school uniform. You can see at a glance.
制服が着られているって感じだがな。
He claps my shoulders as we pass each other.
気をつけてな。いろんな意味で。
With those parting words, he heads back to the police station. I guess I don't make a convincing student yet. I'm wearing deep blue slacks and a short-sleeved dress shirt, as well as a dark red and yellow striped necktie. Excluding my somewhat longish hair, I should be the very image of a student. I guess it's a little different, though, turning into something like that all of a sudden. But it's probably precisely because this is difficult that I decided to give it a try. For a while, I myself didn't understand why I'd asked for this, but now I think I have a faint grasp on the reason. I want to become something that I couldn't understand, something that I wasn't. At the moment, I've done nothing but smooth down my edges a bit. Perhaps later on I'll become a student on the inside as well. The sun that had been climbing upward earlier has now finally reached its zenith. The temperature keeps on rising and sweat oozes from my skin. I was pretty sure she'd pick me up, but... Sensing the presence, I lower my gaze from the sun. My eyes, well accustomed to the high contrast lighting, project a human form in silhouette for only the briefest of moments before the details fade in. A woman raising an awkward salute, grinning broadly, stands before my eyes. Spare me, I just want to see in a pose like that outside the workplace. In the first place, what was that dopey salute? The girls in bikinis on the Maritime's SDF recruitment posters have more impressive form. Man, our guy's a dick. Our protagonist is an asshole. I love it. I don't recall contributing enough to society today to deserve any appreciation. Fine. She opens the door of the car, stopped next to her. Yeah, true enough. What is our objective? From Mishima Cape Police Station to National Highway number 133, southbound, we proceed to the prefectural highway and advance further out towards the Cape. A range of slowly rotating wind turbines come into view, indicating our proximity to the sea. Woman. I doubt you really thought I was sick. You were trying the police stations first, not the hospitals. Accuracy in weather forecasts and interpersonal communications make society run smoother. I'm sorry, was I supposed to be adorable? You want me to put on a costume or something? I'm not here to amuse you, lady. I'm here to do a job. Outing again, she continues her harangue. Yeah, that's that word. Harangu. That's probably not how you pronounce it. I like the exercise. Is that a problem with it? That I'm not lazy like you who drive a car everywhere? Sorry, I hate trains.
だからって歩いてくるなんて常識外れよ。どうしたの？黙っちゃって。
Sorry, I've been interrogated by the police for like an hour and a half. I'm just kind of tired, okay? I just want to get to where I'm going and just sleep, okay? Okay? Stop interrogating me. Could you not mention this to the other students? I don't want them getting any funny ideas about me from the get-go.
変なのが来たって警戒されるかもね。確かに。
I get enough of that from the police to last me a while.
やっぱり職質受けてたのね。
Yes, I did. Thank you.
はい、着いたわ。ここよ。
Hooray! The car proceeded about 500 meters along an area of reclaimed coastal land before she brought it to a stop. So that's what he meant by a landfill. I see. As I'm recalling the words of the detective from before, the woman continues our conversation with a suddenly cheerful tone.
どう？立派でしょ。この近隣の学校の中では一番新しいのよ。
It's great. I like it. I like it already. I don't like the walls that are like 50 feet high, though. That's kind of weird. It almost looks like a prison. That's cool. Barely even looks like a school, though. Although I heard it was a new school, its external appearance generally isn't what I expected. A 3-story building, the pure white color of the outer walls is the only typical school-like element, with every other aspect more closely resembling a city office building. The gates to the right and left are less evocative of a school gate than a functional fence at some facility. The mounted signboard likewise is a utilitarian thing printed in a simple typeface rather than a hand-drawn work of calligraphy.
これからここがあなたの母校になるのよ。感慨深くない？
I'm sorry, it doesn't light me on fire, woman. It's a building, alright? One just arrived. If I said I was deeply moved by the sight, it'd be a lie.
味もそっけもない。人間想像力が大事なのよ。
With an exaggerated sigh, she opens her hands wide in the overblown gesture of a third-rate actor.
新設校だから
Or
あまり
actress.
学校のイメージがないかもしれないけど、学生だってちゃんと
She
普通のいい
seems
子た
sweet,
ちが
though.
いる
We shouldn't give
の
her a
よ。
hard time. She seems to be doing well. She seems like she really likes, you know, kids and stuff. Oh, dear Lord.
え
Oh my god, please never talk like that again. Our rigmarole is abruptly interrupted by the highest pitched streak of 2 girls.
やめなさいマキナ。やめなさいってお願いだからお願いだから。
Is that a bug? What the hell is she doing?
あまねなんで逃げるの？セミかわいい。
She acts like I act around bugs. Ugh, I hate bugs.
虫は大嫌いなのよ。ほれほれ。助けて。
Oh, I love it.
むせ返るほど笑ってんじゃないわよマキナ。あんた後で覚えてなさいよ。おやつ抜きにするんだから。
No way. Well, mind explaining that scene for me? You're speechless too, huh?
普通の
Yeah, perfectly normal, huh? Why are you sweating? So profusely, I might add. Are you trying to cover up something dark about this school you don't want me to know? Something evil, I wonder. I mean, for Christ's sake, there are blue apples on the cover. Something's amiss here. Normal, could you define that term, please? Is there a class where we chase each other around brandishing insects? Because if there is, sign me up twice.
違うのよ。あの子たち
That's
は
not it.
そのね、わかるでしょ？
I don't think I do. I don't know. But it's nice to see that it's a lively school, if nothing else.
でしょ？とりあえず
Yes, I'm sure inside will be much better than outside. Having apparently forgotten what she was planning to do with her outspread hands, she totters through the school gate. Our office is positioned quite near the school's building's front entrance. The furniture is nicely arranged, based around an old-fashioned desk and chair. In contrast to the incongruity of the building's external appearance, this room is a textbook example of the old-fashioned principal's office. Where should I take it? I sit on the genuine leather sofa that's one of the room's more prominent furnishings. After waiting for me to settle myself, she lowers herself into the seat across from me. Tachibana Chizuru. Don't start with me, woman. On a practical level, nice to meet you might be the better option. With a slight amused smile, Principal Tachibana takes out a pamphlet. Pamphlet? Is that how you spell pamphlet? Maybe it is. Okay. She flips past a couple pages of the brochure. I hadn't noticed, but her fingernails are lightly polished. I don't know. Sekai Academy Educational Corporation just sounds like an evil, it's like a corporation just like an evil agenda. Maybe I'm wrong.
榊学園の母体は関東一円に私鉄網を持つ東浜急行電鉄グループ。その資金力を持って最高の設備と教職員を揃えているわ。
Wait, we're owned by a railway company? What? The principal's talk shifts to more detailed matters. The East Beach Express is an enormous corporate group with its hands in real estate and large-scale retail, but its core business is the management of the rail line connecting Tokyo and Haneda Airport. The EBE's management is shouldered by the Sakaki family, and it seems plausible that the Sakaki Academy Corporation is also administered by them directly, but that's only a guess based on circumstantial evidence. Given the lack of public information on the secret of corporation's activities, or even the existence of this academy, I haven't gained anything that could be called definitive proof from my investigations so far.
あなたは2年生として学園に入ってもらいます。早速明日のホームルームで転校のことをお知らせするから、それ以降は自由に振る舞って構わないわ。
Okay, so I get some freedom. Nice, nice. All right. Her fingers come to a stop, bringing her hands gently together. The principal raises her gaze from the pamphlet and meets my eyes.
どう？あなたのお望み通り、普通の学園生活を送るには最適の環境だと思うけど。
I also requested a fruit basket delivered, and I see none. Want mind explaining that one? No? Okay. I have a few questions, if I may ask.
どうぞ。
Thank you. First, today's a weekday, but there were barely anyone on the school grounds. Why is that?
少数精鋭なのよ。学生数は
6 students?
6人だけなの。
Sorry for my outburst. How can the school possibly be maintained with only 6 individuals? That seems rationally and woefully illogical and ridiculous. Please explain.
そうよ。
The elite few? What is that supposed to mean?
ええ。
You're being awfully brusque with your words there. I don't. That includes our friend with the cicada just now?
もちろん。
The cream of the crop indeed. Question 2. Where am I living from now on? From today on, I should say.
全寮制なの。後で学生寮の場所を案内します。そこからここに通ってちょうだい。
We have a dormitory for 6 people. That seems really and woefully wasteful of funds. A dormitory, is it?
寮といっても十分な広さのある個室だけ
Well, it better be
安心よ。
spacious. There's only 6 of us. I should probably get like a whole floor to myself in that case.
以上かしら。
Oh yes, one more question. One last thing.
はい、どうぞ。
For this last question only, I stared directly into her eyes. I need to confirm the principal's intentions in bringing me here. After all said and done, is this a normal school? Is it? Is it really a normal school? The principal closes her mouth. After a moment of silence, she opens it yet again. That's not very convincing, ma'am. A gentle smile. I'm convinced that she isn't lying to me to further some hidden self-interest.
あなたがあの時に言った希望、ちゃんと覚えているわよ。
Well, I have. Would you mind reminding me, please? The principal slowly stands up and walks to the window side. The athletic grounds are visible from the window. Although resembling those of a normal school, the grounds are skirted by an improbably high wall.
普通の学園に入って、普通の学生生活が送りたい。
Yes, I said those to you many, many times. The mere handful of students, the bizarrely and extravagant facilities, the on-campus dormitory, the high wall surrounding it all. Yes, they clearly indicate abnormality.
でもね、あなたも分かってると思うけど、あなた自身の境遇を考えると、ここしか条件に合うところがなかったのよ。
I guess you're right.
私はあくまでもここは普通の学園だとあなたに言います。
The principal turns to face me.
だからあなたもここで普通に過ごしてくれればいいわ。何かしてほしいとか私から言うことはありません。
Well, with 6 students here, I better be able to get along with at least one of them. Otherwise, I'm going to have a very bad time indeed. Understood.
それじゃ寮の方へ案内するわ。
Yeah. With a nod, I rise to my feet. On the grounds outside, a gust of salty sea air kicks up a cloud of sand.
ここが学生寮よ。管理室も含めると部屋数は全部で11。各部屋ごとにお風呂とトイレとキッチンが備え付けられてるから生活の心配はないわ。家具も一通り揃ってるしね。
Spare no expense, I see.
何キョロキョロしてるの？
Cicada pair from early don't seem to be around.
ああ、スオさんとイリスさんのことね。二人ともまだ学園に残っているのかもね。小峰さんもいないようだし。
That Komini guy, a student here too?
その子に寮の案内を頼んでいたんだけど、姿が見えないから。
So you don't have a minute grasp on the movements of the students, I see.
私はほら、単なる学園長だから。
There's 6 students. It should not be difficult to keep track of their lives. Merely, is it? I'm sensing deep in rest. Something is not right. This is far from a normal environment. Something is amiss. Amiss with the miss.
ちょっと待ってね。部屋にいるのかもしれないから。
The principal walks towards the interior of the building. Left there by myself, I stare vacantly up at the ceiling. Soon, I've unconsciously fallen into my habit of counting the number of visible sprinklers, then roughly estimating the scale of the building. Calculating the time needed to gain control of the front entrance, and ascertaining the location of the emergency exits. Not that many support pillars, are there? Guess that's why the ceiling is a bit low. Yes? Can I help you? Having grown absorbed in analyzing the building, I don't even notice the tug at my sleeve.
私の声聞こえてますか?
Should I not be able to? Until the final excuse me of my mini finally catches my ear.
あなたは今日到着予定の転入生さんっ ですか?
Your eyes are like the ocean. I'm entranced by them, my lady. I drop my gaze in the direction of the voice and find a girl in housemaid clothes looking up at me. Not that she's a particular diminutive height, except in comparison to a taller male like myself.
それとも不審者さんでしょうか?
No one's going to admit that they're an intruder if you ask them point blank.
そういえばそうですね。目から鱗です。
The maid nods several times, slowly closes her eyes, and begins to repeat my words.
不審者かと尋ねられて不審者だと答えるやつはいない。不審者かと尋ねられて不審者だと答えるやつはいない。うん、大丈夫。
Got it indeed.
それでは質問の仕方を変えて、あなたは不審者さんではない人でしょうか?
Flexible thinking isn't your strong suit, clearly.
はい。
No, never mind. So, what does the maid want with me?
ですから、私はあなたが怪しい人かどうかを確認しています。
This would be the second time today I've heard that pickup line.
それはおめでとうございます。それで、あなたは不審者さんではない人なんでしょうか?
You're a lot tougher than you look, maid.
小峰さん、ちょうどよかった。こちらが今度転入することになった風見くんよ。
At this point, having noticed her voices, the principal calls out to the girl. Seems the maid was Komini all along.
やっぱりあなたが転入生さんだったんですね。
I'm Kazami Yuji. It's good to meet you.
はい、こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
I don't think you introduced yourself.
すみません。下の名前はサチです。よろしくお願いします。
That's better. And this time it's nothing but the first name. I had this thought earlier with the other two, but you've certainly gathered some unique elites here.
学生の個性を伸ばすのが学園の役目だから。
Which would mean that she's a student too?
小峰さんはこの学園の1年生よ。あなたには小峰さんが教壇に立つような年に見えた?
That's not really my point of confusion here. Our uniform creates certain preconceptions. For example, if I see a girl wearing bunny ears in a bar, I don't ask what she's done with her Bible.
小峰さんは普段からメイド服でいることが多いから。
Why? Is she a maid? That's not an explanation, though.
確かにそうね。それじゃあ小峰さん、
I
説
look
明
forward
して
to
あげ
hearing
て。
this explanation.
わかりました。私はクラス委員を任されている関係で、よく先生方のお手伝いや雑用をお願いされることが多いのですが、
Okay.
なんだかメイドさんみたいだねという話から、ちょっとメイド服着てみなよと促され、実際着てみたらやっぱり似合うから、なるべく普段から着た方がいいよと提案されたので、なるべく普段からメイド服を着るように心がけています。
So that's what you want, is it? You want to live the life of servitude? Always taking orders, never giving them? I don't like you as a class representative, if I do say so myself. You don't seem to have enough willpower to make your own choices. How can one possibly represent the student body? You're a devoted one. That fallen bunny girl's sister could learn a thing or two from you.
はい、ありがとうございます。
I wasn't really intending that to be a compliment, but there's no point telling her that.
じゃあ、ここからは彼女に案内してもらって。その方が話もできていいでしょう。
No objections here.
それじゃあ小峰さん、あとはお願いね。わかりました。それではまず1階から案内していきますね。
Oh, a tour of the first floor. This ought to be interesting. The maid slowly begins to walk, but quickly comes to a stop in front of the management room. Stop dead. She's staring at me with an expression that clearly indicates she has something to say. What's wrong? You need something?
そのあなたのことを何とお呼びしたらいいのか聞き忘れていました。
Come to think of it, you're right.
すみません。
Well, you can just call me whatever you want.
それでしたらゆうくんと呼ばせていただいてもよろしいでしょうか。
Now knock yourself out. Doesn't bother me. I got more important things to do. More bigger fish to fry, if you will. Got very familiar all of a sudden.
では風見さんというのはいかがでしょう。
Sure, anyway, I'll call you Sachi.
サチ。
That is your name, is it not? Would Sachimon be better? I mean, then you sound like a Digimon. I don't know. That seems like a degrading, isn't it?
いえ、サチで構いませんよ。
Good. Her expression didn't change in the slightest, but her eyes at the moment she spoke those words had a strange forcefulness. That's so. Alright, Sachi. Best regards and all that.
はい。
Judging from her smile, it seems she doesn't dislike being called Sachi.
それでは早速なのですが、寮に入って最初に見えるこの部屋が風見さんのお部屋になります。
The nameplate seems to say it's the management room, though.
学園長さんのお話では、風見さんには寮長を兼ねてこの部屋に住んでほしいとのことでしたけど。
She extended no instructions towards me of that. She wants me to play the prison guard. Well, at the very least, 3 of the 6 students living in this dorm are female. It would probably be prudent to have a room as far as possible from theirs to avoid potential trouble. Mind if I take a look inside?
はい。これが部屋の鍵です。どうぞ。
When I open the door with the key she hands me, a prominently placed set of kitchen and household goods catches my eye. They seem to be in good shape, and I can confirm with a glance that the room itself will be a more than adequate living environment given my
こ
needs.
の寮のすべての部屋には火災報知器が1つと2つのスプリンクラーが設置されています。
Got it. She seemed to have guessed my thoughts from the direction of my gaze. I don't like that my bed headboard is facing towards the door. That seems weird to me.
そこは
I can
1
fix it
畳
later.
半ほどのウォークインクローゼットになっていると聞いています。
As a little test, I focus my eyes on a different point of interest, and she provides an explanation in the same way. Although she's a little off in some departments, she seems to be pretty sharp in other respects. I see. Looks like there won't be any problems. As I speak, I twist the faucet over the sink. Was someone using this room before I came?
いいえ、少なくとも4ヶ月は誰も使っていなかったはずですが。
The water's pretty clear, considering.
まあ、建物自体新しいですし、風見さんがいらっしゃる前はこの部屋を倉庫代わりに使用することもあったので、その時に誰かが水道を使っていたのかもしれません。私も時々お掃除の時にバケツの水を汲むために使っていましたから。
I see. I twist the faucet to stop the water, drop the luggage I've been carrying on the spot, and promptly leave the room.
それから玄関を入って正面のスペースはみんなの共有の場所になっています。
The standard student dorm committee space, is it?
はい。マキちゃんやアマネさんなんかはよくここで過ごしていますよ。
That's so. Although I haven't heard those names before, they must be other students.
それから風見さんの部屋の隣はボイラー室。その正面が階段で、その奥には4つの部屋があって、階段の隣の3号室が私の部屋になります。
I've heard there are 11 rooms in total. Any reason why you picked one on the first floor?
それは私の名前がサチなので、さっちゃんなら3号室でしょと。
I get the idea.
ここが2階です。2階は基本的に部屋のみの構造となっていて、私以外の学生さんは全員この階に住んでいます。
Which would mean 2 of these rooms are vacant.
はい、7号室と9号室は現在空き部屋になっています。
Hmm.
3階は この大浴場をはじめとした戦
Very
闘
nice.
的な
I
構造
like
に
it.
なっています。階段の反対側にはコインランドリーや物干しスペースもあるので、必要な時に利用してください。もし洗濯自体が苦手なようでしたら、私に言っていただければ代行しますので。
Oh, thank you. Won't taking care of someone else's chores be a nuisance?
クラス委員ですから。
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know class representative was synonymous with maid. Alright, I'll keep that offer in mind.
はい。
There's no reason to refuse outright when the offer is delivered with such an earnest smile. By the way, can we use this grand bathroom as we please?
はい。清掃は専門の業者さんが定期的にやってくれているので、清掃中以外は24時間利用可能です。
The view is quite splendid, I must say so.
ただ、男湯と女湯に分かれているわけではないので、風見さんが入浴する際は入り口にこの札をかけるようにしてください。
As she speaks, she hands me a card that reads, "In use, male bathing." Sure, I think I might take advantage of it pretty often. The view up here is pretty nice.
そうですね。周りには校舎の他に高い建物もないですし、ガラスの透過率も 75% ですから、海面に沈む夕日を眺めることもできますよ。
An ocean view, huh? Not bad.
ご希望ならすぐに入ることもできますけど。
As she speaks, I notice Sachi's already holding a towel and chains of clothes in her hand. You're pretty well prepared.
この大浴場を見た大体の人はすぐに入ってみたくなるみたいなので。
I see. The fruit of your experience, is it? What's wrong?
風見さんのための着替えではなく、私の着替えを持ってきてしまいました。
As if to demonstrate, female underwear slips out from among the clothes in Sachi's hand. Is this a declaration that you want to bathe together?
いえ、そのつもりはありませんでした。すみません。
I really don't think there's anything to apologize for.
ありがとうございます。では、これで寮の案内は終わりになりますが、何か質問はありますか？
Let's see. Can I ask about something other than the dorm?
私に答えられることでしたら。
In that case, let's hear your 3 sizes, Sachi.
はい、上から82、56、83です。
At the moment, is there a specific man you're going out with?
いません。
Your experience with men to date?
ありません。
I know I'm the one who asked you those questions, but answering them so politely. Will it also be because you're the class representative?
クラス委員はみんなの役に立ってこそのクラス委員ですから。
What an admirable devotion to customer service.
ありがとうございます。他に質問はありますか？
Nothing comes to mind.
わかりました。もし他に聞きたいことができたら、部屋にある内線電話で3番を押してください。私の部屋につながるので。
Got it.
それでは私はこれで失礼しますね。
With that note of farewell, Sachi bows like a genuine housemaid and starts to turn away. Ah, Sachi.
はい。
Thanks for the tour. I really appreciate it.
はい。
The class representatives these days seem to be a surprisingly tough-willed breed. After Sachi's tour ended, I took another look around the interior of the building on my own. By the time I returned to my room, the sun is already low in the sky and the light growing dim. Should probably put this stuff away before it gets dark. Opening my backpack, I pulled the contents and began to put them away on the shelves I've been provided with. It's a real help that I've got a closet. things I can leave in a visible place and things to be stowed away in the back. Dividing my possessions between the two, the latter are clearly more numerous. Normal, huh? Looking over my mountain of luggage, I mutter in a self-depreciating tone. As I work, the sun sinks leisurely into the sea. At my usual time, 4:45 a.m., I woke up in my usual way and ran through the course I had marked down mentally on my way here. To tell the truth, when I was stopped by the policeman yesterday, it was because I'd been wandering back and forth in the same place while planning out a possible marathon route. I woke at the usual time, ran at the usual time, and now I'm eating my usual breakfast menu. No different from the days when I was living together with my master in the mountains, my standard tempo of living. If there is a difference, it's limited to the slight surprise I felt when I opened my eyes and found a roof over my head. During my hike from Yamanashi, I'd gotten used to sleeping in the open. So when I woke up inside a room, there was a slight feeling of unease as I thought, right, I'm living in a dorm now. That mild discomfort hasn't disappeared even now as I'm eating my corn cereal. It's hard to settle down inside a new layer until it's ingrained within your scent. Even so, I'll start living at this tempo every day from now on, going to school every morning, so there's no real need to rush things, I suppose. If I actively spend every day packing myself with potentially useful knowledge, someday this sort of lifestyle might come naturally to me. The effort strikes me as a little bit troublesome, but as my master once told me, when it comes to your life and your women, a little bit of trouble is just about right. Speaking of women, they're a simple bunch, but that doesn't make them any less difficult to handle. I've learned that much in my first year living with my master. In my master's words, when you're a brat, running fast is enough to make you popular. When you're in middle school, the guys who can fight will be popular, and after that it's the guys with the brains who get the girls. In other words, run, punch, and read books, and you'll never run dry. What do you think? Short and sweet, right? That was her theory, at least. The things she said were always ridiculously simplistic. Honestly, I ignored those words with a snort the first time I heard them, but my master was a woman who put her beliefs into practice. Every morning she made me run, and every day she hit me with a stack of books. They hurt. Although I don't know if she's to blame, I still run 16 kilometers every morning and habitually read books whenever I have the free time. Sometimes she was harsh, sometimes she was sweet. She would emit an abrasive, overpowering aura at times, but every once in a while she could be so gentle that I thought my brain would melt out of my ears. That was my master. A woman with a sizable build who was nonetheless very picky about the little things. I've had a hard time dealing with large women ever since those days, but being aware of that fact doesn't mean I can fix it. Not that I dislike them on a conscious level, but whenever I see a tall woman I can't help but feel wary out of pure instinct. If you ask why I'm bringing this all up all of a sudden, well, that would be because I've just been reminded that there's a large woman at this school as well. Since this place is a student dormitory, it's of course only natural that a community of students would already be living here, and it's entirely probable that they have their own rules that I don't know yet. Also, I'm a country hick fresh from the rural area of Yamanashi, so it goes without saying that I'm poorly versed in the customs and rituals of this land. I have no way of penetrating the depths of significance that might be hiding in an action that, at a glance, looks to be simply a case of bullying. What game's this? What are the rules? The puzzled faces staring back at me are familiar. Who are these women, I wonder? Well, we'll just have to find out next time on the Fruit of Grisaia. Take it easy, guys.